Des Moines and all of Central Iowa, welcome to Mac's World Live. Mac's World is your world. Every day we talk about the issues and topics that matter most to you. And as always, it's your voice we want to hear in Mac's World. So join the conversation by calling 515-244-0077. And now, here's the host of Mac's World Live, J. Michael McCoy.
Yeah. No? Welcome to Mac's World Live. Bob Muntz right here, Cat in the Hat. And Mac is getting his mic set up right now because we have technical difficulties, but hey, we're going to make it pretty soon. So Frank, do you have mic?
I
think you're there. There you go. We're still here. We're just taking care of our technical issues, so don't go away. Don't change the channel. We're still here. And
all right. So what happened? Who knows? Somebody changed around something. Anyway, should have a mic check. All right. Well, that's just par for the course, isn't it?
That's what makes it real, Mac.
Yeah. There's no fakeness here. Thanks for Bob just rambling on. So that just throws me off even a little bit more. It's going to be a weird beginning today. A lot of prayer and meditation over the last few weekdays. I have been very upset over injustice, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. And to the point was on Friday I didn't even want to do a show. And you guys did the show on Friday, right?
Yes.
What'd you do it on?
Chris Roloff, and we talked about we talked about some Calvinism and some Calvinistic jokes, and had about 5 callers, I think.
Okay. Well,
and the terrorist attack didn't happen till later that evening.
Right. So the last week was a tough week for me. The accuser was playing handball in my head, mixing up the voices, making me think something was correct when it wasn't. The thing down in Columbia, Missouri, really got to me. The fact that a United States campus, college campus, was disrupted to the point that a president of a university, a five-year university president, was forced to resign, only to find out as the week continued that all 3 of the things that he was accused, well, he wasn't accused of, the rioters decided that the president of the university should be able to do something about anything they wanted him to do something about. There was a report that the Ku Klux Klan was on campus. That was later exposed by the president of the Student Body Association, saying that he had bad information, misinformation, incorrect information, wrong information. And he was the one that spread that rumor, but in fact that had not happened. Number 2, that someone had taken human feces and spread them on a building in the shape of a swastika. And everybody saw it and was disturbed about it. But guess what? You know how many pictures they had of it? Oh, I don't know. Let me see here. Cameras. Probably a lot of people don't. Oh, Bob, everybody has cameras, don't they?
Right.
They're in their phones.
No photos.
No photo. Now, you're telling me that if a swastika offended you, you wouldn't take a picture of it? Especially if you were going to claim that the president should have something to do with it? So it was a tough week. And I was kind of wearing that on my sleeve. And I am so blessed to have men in my life who pointed out to me that perhaps maybe I was getting a little out of hand last week. One guy made the comment that I was kind of turning back to the old Mac. And I don't like that old Mac. I don't want that old Mac around. That old Mac doesn't do anything for me. He doesn't make me feel better. He doesn't make me feel serene or peaceful. In fact, this guy right here, got so uncomfortable last week that I began to feel this unsettling itch. And that itch is to just take out a samurai sword and anything within arm's distance gets hit. Last Tuesday or Wednesday, Megs came on the air. Were you here?
Wednesday, yes.
All right. And he made me mad. Now, if Megs can make me mad...
I knew you were mad, Mac.
Oh, man, I was mad. I was mad. And so after that, Meg said, he said, I want to get together and talk to you. And I said, I don't have any desire to talk. We're fine. And he said, well, I want to talk to you first thing Monday morning. So we set up a time Monday morning, which was today. And then I went back and listened to that show, and I had no desire to open up that can of worms. And I am so blessed to have such good friends, such good brothers, and Megs is one of those, that he wouldn't let me off. He was not going to let me off. I mean, I suppose he wouldn't have come in and broke down my front door, but
I don't know. He might. I mean, I don't.
So we got together this morning with a pastor, and what he pointed out to me was that I was not doing everything, all things, with a sense of love. And I want to make some cocky-poo excuse that you can't do my job as a journalist, as a reporter, as someone who points the darkness out to the light. You just can't always do it in love. And what I heard from Ron and the pastor and some other people over the weekend, including Megs, that we can do everything in love or it shouldn't be done. And I got to work on that. I need to do a better job of that because somehow I think J. Michael McCoy has a pass to not act the way God wants me to act because of the job that I do or because of the injustice I feel. Injustice is fingernails on a chalkboard to me. You have no idea what that strikes within me. I've always said that my biggest fear is abandonment and betrayal. Well, I think I'm going to add a third one, and that is injustice. Because when I perceive injustice or when I see injustice, I don't handle it well. And unfortunately, it comes out over the radio. And I've got to work on that.
As Jack Nicholson in The Batman with Michael Keaton said,
he was the Joker.
The Joker. You have to break some eggs to create an omelet. Can you be a journalist and not crack eggs?
No, but what was pointed out to me by Ron and Megs and some other people was that I could do it more lovingly. Now, we'll get to the whole Paris thing. You can only imagine what my Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday was like. I have been saying for way too long, and this isn't about I said something that was right. I need no points, so I'm not keeping score. But I have said for a long time, Bob, you and I have talked about this for years and years and years, that when you peel away that onion, which is religious liberty, and when you peel away that onion, which is political correctness, which really is political incorrectness. But, what is right is wrong and what is up is down. And when you peel that back, what you get to is the accuser against Jesus. Everything comes down to trying to eliminate God and religious freedoms and religious voices from our country. And I'll be honest with you, most low information voters, which you're not one of them, I doubt if you're one of them. If you're listening to this show, you're not a low information voter unless you're spying on me today. And if you're spying on me, welcome. I've been praying that you'd come here because it's your voice I want to hear at 244-0077. But I'm rambling, and I'm sorry. I don't mean to ramble. The point here is that we have injustice all around us, and it is rooted in the accuser. It's rooted in the devil. And the devil's minions want to make us feel bad, shameful, hateful, because we speak against the darkness. And so I have to temper the fact that some of these voices, these bad voices, are coming from those that work for the devil and the accuser. I'm going to read you a little piece of hate mail I got over the weekend because I want you to have a good idea of what it's like to fight like hell for Jesus. We're coming back live here on The Truth.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah!
If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
of 3 o'clock on the 16th day of November in the Lord's year 2016. We okay on this microphone? We're coming through? Okay.
Oh, you sound beautiful to me, sir.
Thank you, Chris Roloff. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Ryan. And thank you, Bob Montserrat. And thank you guys for covering the show last Friday. As if the week could not have gotten any worse. First, I have a fight with my friend Megs on the air. Then I've got this stuff going on in Columbia, Missouri. And you got to remember, Columbia is not far from my hometown, from Beatrice, Nebraska.
Is that right?
Yeah, it would not be uncommon for us to go into Missouri to Columbia to do something. We played the Missouri Tigers for years and years and years.
Okay. I imagined Beatrice was somewhere else. I didn't really.
Beatrice.
I'm sorry, Beatrice.
Well, actually, you're correct.
Yeah, it's in Nebraska. It's in Nebraska.
Right.
Are you saying it's on the same level? If you could go straight across?
No, you'd go south and then east.
Okay.
Because Kansas is right below Nebraska and then Missouri is right next to it. So it was kind of a little hometown stuff for me.
Yeah, very, very personal in that way.
And then to watch that whole thing unfold and to find that all of what these protesters, these rioters, were complaining about, none of them were true.
Yeah, that's
I don't know how to. I have yet to figure out how to give that to Jesus. I mean, I learned how to give a lot to him, but that one, it's like he looks at me and says, that's man's puke, man, not mine. I don't want to. You got to figure that out.
That is it's bold-faced lying to get what you want. That's just the worst kind.
So it's been admitted the swastika wasn't true?
Yeah. No KKK. And no swastika, and no pickup truck with rednecks who yelled the N-word at somebody.
Well, so it's, as you described, a false flag that you have said when you were a businessman, you have done things as a businessman to bring attention to your own business for selfish purposes. They done the same thing. And they do this all the time because the means always justify the ends. And just like the Rolling Stone false rape case at University of Virginia, all they're out to do is paint a larger narrative.
Now, I heard, is this accurate? Now, I'm going to tell you, I heard gossip, so I'm going to tell you I did not get this from a news source. So here I am possibly saying gossip. But do any of you guys know, is it accurate that the president of the student body at that school was a homosexual African-American man? Is that true? Has anybody heard that before?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
That the president of the student body at the college
is an African-American man
who was gay, homosexual African-American.
I didn't hear that.
You hadn't heard that, but he is African-American.
Yeah, his name Peyton. I think it's his first name or his last name. Yeah.
So, but these guys are getting accused of not being diverse, right? The school is being accused of not being diverse when there's some level of diversity at the school, obviously, right?
See. It's kind of what they're making. Here's what they're doing to us. They're making us answer the question, when did you stop beating your wife?
Ah, yes. You're
not diverse enough. Well, what would that look like? Well, I don't know, but you're not diverse enough. See, here's the thing that I do. Here's what I don't get. And maybe when Stephen, that African-American gentleman who called us, when he comes on the radio, he'll help me understand this. We have a black president. I think we got diversity covered.
Well, as a country, maybe, but there's still pockets where there is high levels of bigotry and hatred and segregation.
But that's human nature. That's sin. We're never going to get rid of all that. You know what the war on poverty is? Life. We'll never end poverty.
I'm gonna throw that back in your face and say, you know what, your president just said the same thing when it comes to what's going on around the globe right now. That what's going on in Syria and ISIS and ISIL, that's just the way it is. That's just the way of the world. We're just going to have to come to grips with evil in the world. Your president just said that. And would you agree with him? Because I don't agree with him that as a president of the free world that we should just say, well, bad things happen to bad people. I'm going to go back to what I was doing. I mean, we've got what appears to be kind of a war starting to bubble up here on the globe. And our president just seems to go, well, that's just the way it is.
Well, this is all about this bogus movement of Black Lives Matter. All lives matter, but Black lives should matter more. And if they can't get any attention to their cause, they will bring the attention upon themselves with a false flag saying that something happened that didn't happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I'm sitting in my chair. I took Friday off thanks to Chris. I didn't feel good.
You didn't.
But I didn't want to feel good either.
Well, you needed a break. Yeah.
I needed a break.
Yeah.
I really did.
See, I thought it was because I wasn't here and you decided to take off too.
No. So I'm sitting there in my chair with my puppies and my phone starts blowing up and I turn on the news.
Oh, yeah.
And Paris hits.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like the accuser saying to me, "Oh, you think you're going to have a nice, calm weekend? Let me show you what I'm going to do, just to get you stirred up." Now, I know it had nothing to do with that, but that's how my alcoholic, idiotic mind thinks.
Sure.
And I've always said, and I was talking about this, Chris, before you came in today, that when you unpeel the onion of political incorrectness, of religious freedoms, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, it's the cross in Knoxville, it's the Gort's house, it's the cake bakers, it's the candlestick makers, it's whoever it is. When you finally get down to the core of that onion, you ever peeled an onion, Chris?
Yeah.
You're a cook. When you get done peeling an onion, there's a little, you can eat it, but it's like a little plum. Mm-hmm. It's about the size of a nickel.
Yeah.
When you get to the core of the onion of society's blobbity, 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 blah, there's one thing that stands there, and that's sin and hate and the accuser. So whatever you want to tell me is right or wrong with this country, let's find out its origin so we don't just put a Band-Aid on the ouchie. Let's try to heal us. Well, if you want to heal everything that we've been talking about, you got to go to sin, hate, and the accuser. And you got to defeat him. Agreed?
Amen. Amen.
All right. Now, you and I, we've all been hanging around long enough to know that one of the terms I use the most is heathens. Because it's the heathens that are the devil's minions.
And by heathens, you mean?
They don't follow Jesus.
Okay.
Unbelievers.
Just general non-believers or anybody that's not a Christian. So
I don't know if I'd go anybody that's not a Christian.
So non-believing people. So and I'm just trying to understand.
If you don't believe in a creator.
Okay, gotcha.
So we haven't got to Jesus yet. Let's just go back to how'd you get here. And if you tell me the big boom, you're a heathen.
Okay, gotcha.
If you tell me that book called the Bible is not a true history book, you're a heathen.
Okay.
All right. Now, if a Hindu comes up to me and says, "Oh, I believe there's a creator. I just don't believe in Jesus." Well, then we're just not on the same page with religion.
Sure.
But we can probably agree to disagree.
Right.
So here's what I said on Facebook.
Okay.
Paris is what you heathens caused. The blood is on your hands. Now I want to read you my fan mail, if I may.
Hey, Ryan, do you have the beep button ready? And the 8-second delay on for dropping anything, Max? Now, you've pre-edited this a little bit, right?
I have done nothing. This is printed straight from the internet. And I happen to know this person.
Okay.
This person is part of the ISU Free Thinkers group.
Oh, yeah, good
This
group.
is your buddy Chris John's group.
Oh, okay.
All right, Havelos' group. And you'll hear his inner weaving in here. Now, I'm not upset by this. In fact, in many, many ways, you know how Romans says God will turn everything for good?
Sure.
I think this is a gift I got from God late Friday night to make me think it's not that bad. Look at this poor soul. This guy is so lost, so broken, because this is all he's got. And by the way, I put it on Facebook, so if you want to find out who he is, you can look there. He exposed himself on Facebook. I'm not going to expose him on the radio. That's a bully pulpit, and I don't want to do that. Do you really think that Jesus himself would have said that, Mac? You're the wrong kind of Christian. Honestly, it's disgusting. Your level of self-entitled peace based on God is the dumbest. I just want to stop. So far, we've got wrong, Christian, disgusting, self-entitled, and dumbest. That's in the first two sentences. So don't ever tell me that the heathens aren't name callers. I mean, have you read the Bible? Or do you just apply the verses that you feel can back up your argument? You're sitting on your computer essentially starting a conflict, but your words are screaming, the godly are Only the godly are peaceful. Maybe you as a Christian should find your way to your knees and pray for everyone. Christianity doesn't give you morals. Also, you don't have to believe in God to be a good person. You're living proof. Things go down and you want to point fingers. Where's the love that God commands in the Bible? Reality check, bro. Your job as a Christian is to love. See, right there. This cat doesn't know jack about a relationship with Jesus. He only knows about a religion. It's your only job is to love as a Christian, right? That's all. We do love. We just love. We just walk around with tambourines and peace signs and smoking dope and going, love, love, love. Read the letters in red. Jesus did a lot more than love.
Rebuke.
Your job as a Christian is to love, period. Love.
Oh, did he write the word period to emphasize? Oh, that's always clever.
Your job as a Christian is to love, period. Then a period, and then love, and then a period. You've developed so much hate for the things you've deemed heathen. The heathens were the people that Jesus wanted to be around to show compassion and love so that he could save them. You, on the other hand, want to condemn the world for being sinful. Yeah. Right? The world is condemned because it's sinful, right?
There's something in John 3
I don't know.
about
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can I mention that Christ can walk and chew gum at the same time? That he can love and condemn, love and rebuke. He can love the sinner and rebuke sin at the same time?
Maybe you should dive into the Word of God and reevaluate your position as a Christian and become Christ-like, like you were instructed, and pray love for everyone. No sin is greater than another. Then he quotes Matthew, or he puts Matthew 7:5. This is funny. You hypocrite. First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. And then you know what it says? New International Version. So our wonderful guy here copy and pasted that Bible verse. I'm sick of your self-entitled Christians blaming the world on heathens, when in true reality, you're the problem. Quit being a keyboard warrior and be a prayer warrior. Here's the only swear word. Man, you're awful. You're supposed to be smart, yet you're acting like a child. So this will go in that, that little closet I have in my office where I put things like, we're going to put this there.
The things you're least likely to remember in 10,000 years?
No, the things that remind me that Jesus loves me. This I know, for the Bible tells me so. All right, let's talk about what happened in Paris for a little bit. I've also got a couple of local stories, and then Drew Zahn is in from the Family Leader to talk to us about a big event they're having this weekend, which we're going to be broadcasting live from.
It's actually Friday. Yeah, we're so used to promoting weekend events that we keep saying that. It's this Friday, Presidential Family Forum. You can go to FamilyLeader.com and find out more.
And they can get their tickets at the FamilyLeader.com.
There's a link to the Eventbrite page there.
FamilyLeader.com. Okay. So we're going to talk about that, and we'll do it when we come back, live here on The Truth, 99.3, powered by Webcast One Live. I'm J. Michael McCoy. Thanks for listening. Love this job. Couldn't do it without you. Right here on The Truth.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Homs.
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed. Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money-back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're gonna make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
All right, 22 minutes for the top of the hour, Salem Radio Network News. And then I got a great guest. This may be one of my best guests for Restoring a Hope Live ever. His name is Dale. He's just got an incredible story. Loves Jesus. Just got an incredible story. All right, just a note. I don't know whether it means anything to you when someone is endorsed, a presidential candidate is endorsed. I have never endorsed anyone. Now, it was pretty obvious to everybody 8 years ago I was a Mitt Romney fan, and I voted for Mitt Romney. And by the way, I'll tell you who I'm going to vote for the day of the election, or maybe you'll figure it out before. But I don't think my endorsement means squat to you. You know, if you've got somebody like a senator, and they don't have to be elected. You take somebody like Bob Vanderplatz. When he endorses somebody, that means something to me because his research and how deep he dove into the issues means something. I'm just a journalist. Nothing more. I'm just a journalist with a microphone. That's it. I don't know any more than anybody else. I just get an opportunity to share what I think with you every day. With that said, Stephen King has endorsed Senator Ted Cruz this morning. When I survey the challenges facing our country and the slate of individuals who have stepped forward to offer to lead, one man stands out as courageous conservative whom I believe can restore the soul of America. His name is Ted Cruz, says King. Did you hear the patriotic music playing?
Yeah, I could feel it. Yeah.
All right. And I love Steve King. You know that. He's one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
So I just wanted you, just so you would know that. All right. So the French didn't waste any time.
Boy, howdy, man. They got right on that, didn't they?
Yep. French fighter jets bombed a series of ISIS sites in Syria yesterday in what officials described as a major bombardment. I don't know. I think one bomb on my itty-bitty head would be a major bombardment, so this must have been a big deal. The airstrikes came just one day after a series of terrorist attacks in Paris. ISIS has claimed responsibility for the attacks, which France's president described as an act of war. ISIS claims the city is the capital of its so-called caliphate. What's a caliphate? Frank, what's a caliphate?
I think it's that collective fight against the infidel.
Okay. The targets in Sunday's airstrike included a command center, a recruitment center, an ammunition storage base, and a training camp for the terror group, said Michael Soria, press advisor for France's defense minister. 12 aircraft, including 10 fighter jets, were involved in the airstrikes. 20 bombs were dropped, he said, and all the targets were destroyed. So we know where they are? So we know where they are. Why aren't we bombing them? We've got boots on the ground. We've got airships. Why aren't we meaning us, as in United States, bombing them?
Bob looked up caliphate on Google, and it's a person considered political and religious successor to the Islamic prophet Muhammad.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
Oh, he's the caliphate is the coming one?
He's the leader.
Drew's giving me the. That's right. The caliphate is like
okay, so
the second coming of Christ for those guys.
So here's the point that I want heard. Please. This is just for you low information voters. And I'm tired of you being offended when I say this. If you're not a low information voter, then I assume you will never vote for another person who's going to kill a baby, vote for an ungodly marriage, or allow evil and sin to dominate our society. And then you don't ever have to be offended by that term. Because if you're none of those, then you're not a low information voter. However, if you stopped at any one of those and said, well, you know, it's a woman's right to choose, or I don't think we should talk about God in schools, or I think anybody who wants to get married is just fine as long as they're in love, let's be happy.
Okay, Katharine Hepburn.
We knew where these were, and we haven't bombed them. What further does that say about our president?
Well,
he knows where and how.
No, he would tell you it's complicated, Mac.
Yeah. What did he say over the weekend, that they've retreated?
Contained. They're contained.
Contained them.
Yes, they're very contained. Yes.
That was the day before.
That was the day before.
They blew up a Russian jetliner, and now the Paris attacks, and we call that contained.
Right.
So here's something we're going to face, gentlemen. And Drew Zahn is going to be on the radio here in a minute. And Drew, you're welcome in this studio anytime. You know that. So we will all be sitting in this studio one day, and we will not be talking about Paris. We will be talking about New York, or Orlando, or Wichita Falls, or Sacramento, or Des Moines, Iowa.
You do know on original 9/11 attacks, Mall of America was on the list of potential targets to be hit that day by them 4 aircraft. Imagine if Mall of America gets hit. How many people is in that? Imagine our public transit, our shopping malls, our amusement parks, our sporting events, our electrical grid, any kind of a soft target. Obama is leading from behind. It's going to take the might and the wherewithal of the American military to fight this. We're going to have to lead the charge, and Obama is leading from behind.
The other thing, and Chris, I assume you know this. The only reason I say this to you is because you're not a native Iowan. Do you know what is 2.5 hours to the west of us? Omaha. Do you know what's at Omaha?
Oh, they're
Offutt Air Force Base.
Right. Yeah, Air Force Base.
Strategic command of all of our nuclear weapons. Strategic command for all of our nuclear weapons is at Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha. We're 2.5 hours east of that, as the wind blows about 3 hours with a good brisk breeze, blowing that destroyed nuclear weapon up and blowing to the east. There's going to be a day, guys, when we're all sitting in this room and we're talking about someplace on our soil. I want you to feel your blood. Can you feel it boiling? Can you feel yourself getting a little out of hand? Not so politically correct? You know, I'm not saying we should do this, but I think right after Pearl Harbor was bombed, when the President of the United States rounded up all the Japanese and put them in internment camps until they could be sorted out and know who is what, that was one of the best ideas we ever did. There's a picture of a bunch of Syrian refugees who landed in New Orleans this past weekend. Did you see the picture? Now, these are refugees, right? Fleeing from their country, running from their country. Do you see the picture, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah. See any women in that picture?
No.
How many women were there in that picture? None. See any children? None. But our president is too smart. He's as smart as a fox. Because he doesn't think the average low-information voter will notice that this huge amount of refugees, people fleeing for their lives from a country as it's being ripped by its throat, there are no women or children. I think we're going to have a new example of a Benedict Arnold. I think Barack Obama will go down in history as the biggest treasonist of all. Because we're all going to be sitting here one day, and you at home are going to be listening to the radio. You're going to be pouring through your Bible. You're going to be running through your beads. You're going to be crying. You're going to be calling on your favorite Bible verses. You're going to be playing your favorite sermons. Because you just can't believe that this country is being attacked all over by people that we let in, that we said, oh, yeah, come on in. You're welcome.
And the day has to stop when anyone can walk across our border, north or south, and we not know who they are. That's just absolutely has to end.
Oh, but Frank, our heart and our Jesus' love should welcome all people into the country.
Well, too bad they need to come in an orderly fashion so we know who they are.
Next hour, Dale is here. He's going to do our Restoring Hope Live. Great story from this man. And coming up next, Drew Zahn from the Family Leader talks about the big conference this Friday that you are invited to. We hope to see you there. We'll tell you about it next, live, right here on The Truth.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for the opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens, rock on! This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Ten minutes for the top of the hour, Salem Radio Network News, and then Dale. Just met him 8 days ago. I love him. You're going to love him too. His story today on Restoring Hope Live. All right, coming into the captain's chair is Drew Zahn, and you are the president and CEO of the Family Leader, correct?
No, not correct. I'm the director of communications. Bob Vanderplatz is president and CEO.
Oh, I thought he got promoted.
To director of communications?
Yeah.
No, I've still got that job.
Director of communications are really the people in the know, you know. All right, I'm going to be broadcasting live from your, it's not a summit, right?
No, forum is the word we use. Yep. And we're thrilled to have you, by the way. It's great.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate that. We're going to be there, and we're not going to carry any of the forum because the forum doesn't start till 6 o'clock?
6:30.
6:30. But we want to tell you a little bit about it now so you can get your free tickets. Go to Family Leader or The Family Leader?
TheFamilyLeader.com.
All right, .com. TheFamilyLeader.com. Get your tickets there. It's down at the Community Choice Credit Union Vets Auditorium thing downtown. It's this Friday night. And tell us a little bit about what it's going to be. Now, the Family Leader Forum in Ames was one at a time. The candidates came up and gave their 15 minutes, and then Frank Luntz would interview them, and then they'd go away. Now, this is a different.
Exactly. This is completely different. In fact, it's completely unique. There is nothing like this in the election cycle in any other state, anywhere. It's absolutely amazing. What we do is we've got 8 confirmed candidates right now. Could be more by the time Friday night comes around, but 8 confirmed right now. And they're going to all sit down together around a table.
Are you going to make sure that they're out of arm's distance?
No, they'll be right up next to one another. I mean, 4 years ago we did this, and, and they all had empty glasses out in front of them, and we put a pitcher of water in the middle of the table just to see if anyone would stand up and serve the others at the table.
Nobody
and wouldn't
did.
you know it? No, Michelle Bachmann did. She got up, poured everybody else water.
Good. All right. Good. All right. So go ahead.
So anyways, it's a completely unique event, and they're gathered around that table, and the topic of discussion is also part of what really makes it unique, because the goal is to get into the hearts and the lives and the convictions, the faith and the worldview of these candidates. So we are not talking debate stuff. We're not talking the kinds of things that you see at the stump speeches. No, we're sitting down like 4 years ago again, when the last time we did this. Rick Santorum, for example, told this amazing story of his daughter, Bella.
I remember that. And didn't he win the...
He did, and I have to believe that story had something to do with it, because people saw into the heart of this man.
Yeah.
And the same thing, too, with Kane was there, and the tears on his face.
Yeah.
You know, when he talked about struggling with cancer.
Yeah.
And so forth. So we get a chance to really see into the heart of these men, and in this case, women, because Carly Fiorina is one of our 8.
Now, will this be televised?
Don't know for sure yet.
Okay.
We're still in that negotiating process, and it's a little tricky because of rules about what is and isn't a debate. This is not a debate. It's a discussion.
Okay. So the discussion is intended to talk about the heart and soul of the candidate.
Absolutely. You know, when you have those debates or when you have those speeches, you get the talking heads up there behind the microphone, and they'll say what they're trained to say. They'll say what they're trying to sell, but do you really know the heart of the person behind that? Do you know if they believe what they're saying, if they hold that conviction, and why they hold that conviction? You know, one of the questions we asked 4 years ago was, when is it okay for a state to defy the federal government on a particular law?
And here's how Hillary Clinton would have answered that. Well, thank you for the question, Mr. Zahn, and I truly appreciate it. As President of the United States, I will make sure that women's pay is equal to any man's pay out there. And by the way, we'll make sure that free college is available for every single human being on the face of this earth, because that's what we deserve.
That kind of answer will not fly on Friday night.
I hope Frank doesn't let that happen.
No, Frank doesn't let that kind of garbage go on. And we know that there's a purpose for our meeting, for our forum here, and it's not to hear those same tired old speeches.
Yeah.
No matter what they're promising.
Yeah, and if you've never heard that concept of a stump speech or a narrative, next time you hear any candidate speak, Republican or Democrat, because they all have their narratives. What's Trump's? I'm great. I'll get it done. Nobody else can get it done. They're all stupid. I know how to do it. I built $1 million company. I'm not spending any more money. It's my billions of dollars, so I can do it. And Trump will do it right because I'm Trump. That's his narrative. No matter what question you ask him, it goes back to that. But there will be no narratives allowed Friday night.
No, Frank is going to be working hard. He's going to be bringing questions, some of them from Iowans themselves, and he's going to work to get to the answer. And boy, I'll tell you this, you got 8 guys, well, 7 guys and 1 gal around that table. And if one of them starts pulling that garbage, and the person next to him tells a genuine, true story, well, you'll get a chance to see real fast who's for real and who's not. And that's what the forum is all about.
All right. So now, go ahead, Frank.
I really like Ted Cruz. I don't care much for John Kasich, but I would like to give those 2 guys advice, and I hope that this is part of what you're saying, is they spend way too much time saying what they've done in the Senate or their life story, and they they ignore the question, and then when it gets down to about 15 seconds to answer the question, they answer it and just talk through the minute and a half like the warning bells are just warnings.
Well, first of all, we've got no warning bells, and we've got no time limits. So other than what Frank as a moderator will be, leading them through in that discussion and trying to keep the discussion on track and so forth. So a lot of those rules, everything that we have come to hate about debates, and there's plenty to hate, from the media types sitting at the table asking horribly slanted questions, to the ringing bells, to the speeches, all of that's out the window.
Have you ever tried shot collars?
No, we haven't. And we don't really need to, because this format is very different. And our instructions to the candidates going in about what is and isn't allowed is very different, because this isn't a time to attack one another. This isn't a time to give speeches. It's a time to reveal your heart to the people. And there's going to be 8 people around that table. And if you're phony at that table, if you're doing speeches at that table, the people are going to see that you're the only one doing it.
Who at the Family Leader has the pleasure of telling those candidates face-to-face those rules? You get to do that?
Yeah, well, no, I don't get to do that. We've got a gal named Julie Summa.
Julie's awesome.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She lets them know how it goes down.
And if you need somebody else, can I volunteer? Because I won't leave any sugar on the table.
Well, there's a crowd there. The crowd does react, and Frank listens to the crowd.
Good.
And you better believe if the crowd gets upset with an answer and Frank hears that, he may let the candidate know, you want to try that again?
I hope she hits like a sledgehammer.
Well, I tell you what, it's something like you'll never see before. As Drew from the Family Leader said, thefamilyleader.com, as he just said, there isn't any other ones. This is the only one. And it's free for you to go.
Wait, time out.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, tickets are actually $15.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you have to get them at thefamilyleader.com.
Correct.
Well, $15, that's...
Exactly. And if you're interested in Israel, there is a session ahead of time that is free. And it's all about Israel. Got a pastor coming from Jerusalem. Got Gary Bauer, who's the head of Christians United for Israel Action.
Yeah. They're
going to be presenting there. So you go to thefamilyleader.com, click on Presidential Family Forum, and there's a thing right there for this Israel meeting as well ahead of time that is free.
TheFamilyLeader.com. We'll see you there. We'll be broadcasting live. Drew's on. Thank you very much. The news is next. And then Dale. Just simply Dale. You're going to fall in love with him too. Next, here on The Truth.